Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center, and today we'll be looking at a fighting Garchomp with Carbink. So it's a pure Garchomp Carbink break deck with support of that Jirachi without auxiliaries, without trainer's mails. That's the first thing you should actually notice when you look up at this build. So, for the first time, I'm playing a deck without trainer's mails. It was definitely experimentally, and it ends up, to be honest, pretty solid. Not the best, but it's still decent. I mean, I decided to run 4 copies of N and no auxiliary because of those Garbodors. They're actually very popular right now in the format. So I think, like, well, playing auxiliary is not going to be that good, so maybe just focus on those Carbinks and the Garchomps with Jirachis, because Jirachi can actually be a pretty good counter card against Mega Mewtwo, against Giratina, where on the other side, Carbink can also be good against those Volcanions and any other decks that actually run EX, heavy EX attackers in a deck. And pretty much 4-2-4 line of the Garchomp for that bite off to one-hit knock out your opponent EX Pokemons, or just to hit for 80 or 120 total if you have 2 strong energies against those non-EX decks. So the first thing I should actually say about this deck is that it's definitely going to be very, very strong against any EX deck. So if you play against Giratina Darkrai, you can actually end up pretty well against it. If you play against Mega Rayquaza, Mega Mewtwo, you can also have a pretty good matchup. Against Mega Caesar, you can still win, because Mega Caesar can hit maximum 120 or Garchomp had 130 HP. So I don't see how Mega Caesar can actually beat Garchomp, except for using Giovanni's scheme. But a lot of people actually does not have Giovanni's scheme in their decks, because they just think, well, in both cases we are just going to hit twice. Of course, with crushing hammers and enhanced hammers, they can have some chance, but once they actually blow all hammers, they're not going to be able to counter you that easily. And of course, you can just one-hit knockout later your opponent Mega Caesar, because it have 220 HP, and you can go for like 2 strong energies for 220, or with 1 strong energies and Giovanni scheme for 220, or with 1 strong energy Giovanni scheme, or with just Giovanni scheme and 2 regular energies and Faded Town for 220. So there's a lot of different options with this deck. So starting first with the Pokemon, 16 Pokemon, 35 trainer cards, 9 energies, which is 60 cards as usual in total. That's the amount of the cards for the Pokemon deck. If you're just new to the game, you should know that. 2 Carbinks with the Safeguard, 2 Carbink Breaks with the Diamond Gift. So Diamond Gift can actually attach 2 energy cards from your disco pile to one of your fighting Pokemon, and that's pretty much it. So Diamond Gift is right here very important, because you can easily power up 2 strong energies to your Garchomp, so you're ready to go with the bite off for like a 220 on your opponent EX Pokemon in play. More than that, 4 copies of Gible, 2 copies of Gabite, and 4 copies of Garchomp as our main attacker. And of course, I decided to go with 2 copies of Jirachi. Why 2 copies of Jirachi? Probably a lot of you should say, well, you're just totally crazy, out of your mind, you shouldn't run Jirachis. But trust me, against those Mega Mewtwo's and other decks that actually run heavy special energy cards, I think that Jirachi can be the good thing. Just in case you don't have Garchomp on your bench, you can easily hit with the Stardust and buy some time. But sometimes that Stardust for 10 can help a lot, especially if you don't have enough damage, or if you're short for like a 10 or 20, you can set up pretty much 1 Stardust and turn after that hit for like bite off with your Garchomp. From item cards and supporter cards, as you can see, I'm running 2 copies of Level Ball, because with Level Ball I can grab pretty much Carbink, Gible, and the Jirachi. And 4 copies of Rare Candies, so I can go from Gible to Garchomp. No need to talk too much about it. You really need to have those candies. But also they're pretty sweet, and they taste good, I guess. 2 Super Rods, so you can reshuffle back your Pokemon's and basic energies into your deck. Very, very, very important card in this build. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, 4 VA Seekers. And from supporter cards right now we have so many supporter cards. I think this is the deck that I actually have the most supporter cards that I ever made and played in my life. So I have like 4, 8, 10, 11, 15 supporter cards and 9 different supporter cards. So the first one is a Delinquent. It's going to be a very disruptive card. It will help you to discard stadium card from play and also force your opponent to discard 3 cards from his or her hand. So that's the good thing against Mega Mewtwo, because you can force your opponent to discard Shrouded Memories and he's not going to be able to damage swap. That's the most important thing. So if he can damage swap and you cannot one-hit knockout, you're going to be in a big problem. Giovanni Scheme is another one. It can help you to draw cards till you have 5 or add 20 more damage counters. That's very important because sometimes you might just want to hit for 240. Even some megas have 240, like Primal Kyogre, like Primal Groudon, like Whaler DX 250. So you really want to have more options with it. Hex Maniac against those, Greninja breaks, I guess, but against Greninja break, you're not going to have good time. Trust me, if Greninja break can set up pretty fast, you're going to lose matchup, whatever Garchomp deck you play. So Hex Maniac is just right here as a tech card. Single Lysandre, 4 copies of N, of course, so you can have multiple cards and supporter card to draw when we actually start play. Because there are no Trainer's Mail or Acrobikes, so it's very important. 1 copy of Ranger, just in case we need to have it against the Giratina or against pretty much those Glaceon ZX. Against Giratina is not that needed because we can always use pretty much diamond gifts to recycle special energies from our disco pile to our Garchomps, but of course against those Glaceons we're not going to be able to attack them. 4 Sycamores for draw, 1 copy of Teammates, very important card because after you suffer the knockout you can easily use Teammates, search deck for any 2 cards. I wouldn't be even surprised if you tag 2 more. You can even 1 more. You can run 2 copies of Teammates instead of that Hex Maniac if you want. 1 Wally is just pretty much as tech card. A lot of time I really want to attack Wally if I can, especially in the stage deck, because let's just give you a single example of the Wally use. Let's say you have Wally in your hand or in your disco pile and you really want to have another Carbink for next turn in play. You have a Garchomp with a free retreat, you cannot attack with it, your opponent managed to knock out your, for example, Carbink break. You have Super Rod, you can easily use Super Rod, put your Carbink break line back into your deck. If you have Ultra Ball, Level Ball, you can search your deck for the Carbink, Wally into Carbink break and use 1 energy, and there you go. You again have the Diamond Gift and Safeguarding play, which is just pretty amazing. But of course, Wally from Gible to Gabite, and later just Garchomp, and that's pretty much it. Stadium cards, 1 Faded Town for those megas, so we can actually put the damage counters on each mega between turns. Very good card. Silent Lab turns 1. In case we start first, we manage to hit Silent Lab, we can easily shut down all of our opponent's basic Pokemon abilities. So no Hoopa setup, no Volcanion steam up, no Shaman setup. So pretty strong. 2 copies of Float Stone, of course, so we can have retreat either way on Jirachi and Carbink break. 9 energies in total, 4 of them strong energies and 5 just regular fighting energy cards. So as usual, guys, if you're looking for any of these cards, you can find them on CCGCastle.com. You can find also the link in my video description, so don't forget to check that. It's always good to know about that. So let's do some game tests so you can actually see how deck will work in action. So see you in the game. Alright guys, let's do this. As I always say before we actually start playing, and of course you start watching, my opponent is calling the heads right here, and actually he chose tails, which means that I will start first right here, so that's definitely amazing. So my opening hand, it's a single Gible, there is a Level Ball and the Ultra Ball, and unfortunately nothing else. I don't have supporter card right here for draw, and hopefully I can actually get one. There we go, there is a N as the top deck. So I will Ultra Ball right here for one of my Carbinks, so I can have that safeguard attacker in play. And more than that, I can Ultra Ball for Hex and Gabite, so I can pull another basic Gible down to my bench in case of the turn 1 knockout on the other side. And of course I can use my N, which means that I can draw 6 cards right here. Okay, more than that, there is just a Float Stone and nothing really else. So no energy, no nothing. I will just pass my turn, and that's it. So waiting to see how he is going to respond right here. So basically, will he be able to power up that Flareon turn 1? Well, there's a possibility. There's definitely a possibility to do that. But probably he does not play Energy Switch. If he play Energy Switch, then 1 Max Elixir and Energy from hand, and actually 2 Max Elixirs, Energy from hand, and 2 Energy Switches. You can even attack with the Flareon turn 1 in the active position, but probably not going to see that. So we are going with another N right here, which means that I have Jirachi and another Gible down to my bench. There's also Teammates and Giovanni Scheme sitting in my hand. So I have 3 different supporter cards, which is pretty good. I really want to have as many different supporter cards in my discard pile so I can actually use them very often. That's very important. There is the first steam up. Of course, you want to get rid of your energies for a discard pile so you can come in the active position with your baby Volcanion, of course, and do as many damage as you can to your opponent. So this is going to be pretty much energy attachment. Do I really need a Jirachi right here with my Stardust? I think I don't need it, but I can actually put it down to my bench just in case of that Super Rod play. So I don't need it to put it in play. And I decide to attach actually energy on my Gible in the active. But unfortunately, I didn't find what I was looking for. And I was actually looking for that Rare Candy. So I stuck with my Rare Candy right here. This is going to be a never enough. I'm going to throw out that 1 basic energy from my hand in order to draw 2 cards, and there's just another Jirachi and a Silent Lab. Okay, so Silent Lab, which means that I can shut down my opponent's abilities pretty easily, and this is definitely going to work. So there's Professor Sycamore for the 7, and he just throw out Energy Rest and Energy Retrieval. Not bad. More than that, I'm really looking for that second Carbink. Second Carbink is definitely going to be very nice. I wish I had that Silent Lab actually a turn before in play because of that Scundering Hoopa right now. He wouldn't be able to play it. But okay, it is how it is. Sometimes you get Stadium, sometimes you don't get Stadium, and pretty much that's all. So more than that, I'm really looking for that Rare Candy as the top deck. I mean, I even have that Super Rod sitting in my hand, and I even don't know should I play it or not because I can actually accelerate energies from my discard pile. And Gabite, it's not the card that I actually really need because of the 4 Rare Candies, of course, so that's the reason why. And it's just my turn again, so he really started pretty bad right here, which means that I'm going to play my Silent Lab. And more than that, I guess I can just add 1 of my strong energies on my Gible, and I guess I can take a risk right here by playing Sycamore for 7 and finding that Rare Candy and Garchomp, which means that I can easily evolve into my Garchomp, and I can even Ultra Ball right here if I really want, and I guess I can discard my Faded Town and that strong energy from my hand, basically in order to search that Gabite, and basically put it on 1 of my Gibles because I don't need in that case Rare Candy, and I can go right now with the Bite Off, which is gonna be 180, and that's pretty much enough for the 1-hit knockout against his Flareon. So far, luckily, I managed to survive. There is another Professor Sycamore and just 1 more Fighting Energy card. So he decided to came with the Hoopa in the active position, and that means that there is another Professor Sycamore. So he's still fighting that baby Volcanion. So having a hard time, and finally he managed to get. Oh, he actually played Hitmore. Decent. Didn't see Heatran so often. It's the card from the breakpoint. I mean, with the single energy, you can hit for 20 and 20 more if you have tool attached to it. So there's escape rope, which means that I can actually put my Jirachi in the active position, because I really don't need that Jirachi, to be honest. I really don't need it. Heatran can actually input more damage counters turn 1. Actually can hit for 50 with that first attack, and with 2 steam ups you can actually one-hit knock out your opponent Shaman. So what the heck was going on right here? I was looking to click on my Jirachi, and he actually played with Skyfield, so Jirachi moved up, and I clicked on my Garchomp, or actually not. Did he play that escape rope at the end? Well, I'm kind of confused right here. He didn't play Sky... oh yeah, he had that Float Stone in his hand. Alright, I didn't see that. It takes a little bit, actually, to find out what is going on, but now I know. So, there is a Super Rod for 1 Flareon, 1 Shaymin EX, and 1 Fire Energy. And right now he actually wants to play Escape Rope, which means that I will put in the active position my Carbink, because I have it a free retreat. And I can expect to see a Hoopa right there. I mean, if I lost my Carbink, I guess I don't care too much, because I have Lysandre for another 2-price knockout against, for example, his Volcanion next turn. So definitely I'm looking forward to do that. So there we go, with a big Lysandre. 1 energy is going to be on my Gabite. I'm going to retreat, and I'm going to hit hard, which means that I'm going to hit with the Bite off for another 180. That's going to be enough for the knockouts, and all I really need is to knock out 1 more of his EX Pokemons next turn for last 2 prize cards. And I guess his only option actually right here is going to be to promote his Heatran, because I cannot one-hit knock out Heatran. And there is also Baby Volcanion. I cannot even knock out Baby Volcanion. But more than that, he just does not have supporter cards, or actually he have VA Seeker for Sycamore. I guess M would be much better option for him. And he actually decided to go with the Sycamore for 7 instead of the N for the 6. Really don't know why, but okay. Still, I'm not running Shaymin EX, so all I really need basically right here is just to find a VA Seeker for the Lysandre. And of course, as you can see, 0 VA Seekers played. So this is a Ultra Ball. I guess I can put my Carbink on the bench just to have 1 more. And I can even Ultra Ball for another Garchomp. But the best part of this is that I actually have Rare Candy in my hand, so I can Ultra Ball for Garchomp, Rare Candy into it, and then Sycamore for 7, and hoping to get another Garchomp so I can just evolve from Gabite into Garchomp. And that seems much more reasonable. So there's a Steam Up for 30 more damage, which means that he will add 30 more damage, and 1 more Steam Up, which means that this is 30 more damage. So that's 80 damage right now that he can actually output with his Volcanion. 90 maybe with Fighting Fury Belt, and 120 with, for example, another Volcanion. But still, he is going to be short for like a 10 damage in that scenario. So there is a Trainer's Mail. Oh, but look at the number of my cards. I have 20 cards in my deck, 20 cards in my discard pile. No, that's pretty interesting. So Trainer's Mail for him, and Power Healer for 80. So let's see if it's going to be a GG next turn. I mean, definitely is going to be a GG once he actually promote EX in the active position. So he really needs to fight with his Volcanions until he managed to clear my bench space. So there we go with the Ultra Ball for Wally and N. And this is, look at this, 4 copies of VA Seeker. So I guess when I play Sycamore next turn, there is almost like a 99% to hit at least 1 VA Seeker, because I have 18 cards left and 4 VA Seekers, which means that this is almost like each fourth card in my deck. And there you go. As you can see, there's even another Garchomp. No sign of the energy, but actually 2 copies of V-Seeker. And I'm definitely looking forward to play that Level Ball just to burn 1 card in case of the end. And I really want to retreat because I really want to have opportunity. Oh, actually, I can even... No, I don't really need to retreat right here. I can just use my Turbo Assault, go for the 80, and basically attach one of my Strong Energies on my bench at Garchomp. And right now, this is pretty much it. I mean, I'm down to 2 prize cards, which means that V-Seeker for Lysandre next turn is going to be a GG because I can just Lysandre one of his EXs like a Shaymin, like a Hoopa, either way Volcanion. Even if he can knock out my Garchomp in the active, it really doesn't matter because having 2 V-Seeker, but even if he decide to end me, from 15 cards, I will draw 2 and 1 for the turn, which is 3, and I still have 4 V-Seekers. I guess I'm good. I guess I'm good right here. So let's see what he can do. Now he really wants to retreat, I guess, because he just don't want to suffer one more prize card right here. But he just decided to use another power heater, which means that this game will end right now because I have that V-Seeker for the Lysandre, and this is pretty much it. I have tons of different supporter cards in my discard pile, which I can use. So, let's go. Bite off for 180 after I use my V-Seeker for that Lysandre, and after I Lysandre his Volcanion EX, and use my bite off for a 180. So the game 1 is over. As you can see, my opponent didn't have good hand, but at least against EXs, Garchomp is pretty favorable. Alright guys, so let's do this. Game number 2. As you can see, I won the coin flip, so I don't see a reason why I wouldn't start first right here. So my opening hand contained a 0 or a 0 basic Pokemons. So really looking forward to start with the Carbink right here because it has the safeguard ability, and if I play against the X deck, it can definitely buy a turn. So that's always good. I set new cards, just a single, pour a Gible. At least there is a N, so I guess I can N and grab 6 new cards. So let's take a look at the other side. I mean, I can even Hex Maniac turn 1. I probably even use a Hex Maniac if there was some other cards, but it is how it is. So this is going to be Ultra Ball for that safeguard Carbink, since I see that Hoopa on the other side. I'm going to attach one of my energies onto my Gible because I can even retreat with it. And of course, later I'm going to use my Carbink. So there's a Level Ball, and I'm going to use my another Gible and put it onto my bench. More than that, I'm going to retreat. On my Carbink, and I'm still thinking what to do next. Of course, attach energy and pass my turn. For the next turn, I can volley into Carbink Break, and I can use Diamond Gift, hit for 20, and attach one of my energies back to my Gible on the bench. But that's pretty much it. I need more, better hand than actually I have right now, so I'm really not happy with the hand that I have at this moment. So, Gabite, Hex Maniac, Ultra Ball, and I mean, even if I top deck V-Seeker, it's not that bad. So there's a Float Stone on his Hoopa and a double Core's energy on that Rayquaza on the bench. This is going to be a Skyfield. More than that, one more Hoopa EX, which means 3 extra EX cards to be drawn. So he can easily grab like one more Rayquaza and maybe 2 more Shaymins for the setup. So he can actually draw some more cards right here. Okay, 2 Rayquazas and 1 Shaymin. So triple Rayquaza on the other side. Oh my gosh, like a triple air. Air, whatever. Shaymin X for 4. So just a single Trainer's Mail in his discard pile. Right now, actually, N wouldn't be that bad from my opponent's side. But even top deck Garchomp would be like a boss, because in that case, I can just easily Rare Candy into Garchomp. So there's another Trainer's Mail. So far, he just played 2 copies of Trainer's Mail, and that's pretty much it. And there is Professor Sycamore, or Professor Platin, if he spoke French. So in French, he is Professor Platin. So 7 new cards. He actually had that N. And if that Trainer's Mail was not for the Sycamore, he probably would be forced to use that N, and I would get fresh hand of the 6. But that didn't happen. Alright, so Rayquaza actually also have resistance -20. So I also need to keep that in my mind. But as long as I have Carbink sitting in the active position, I don't need to worry too much. So Carbink is gonna buy me a few turns right here until he actually manage to find something that he can actually use, like a Hex Maniac. More than that, 1 energy attachment, and this is going to be a Diamond Gift. Diamond Gift for only 20 damage, but I can attach 1 of my energies on my Gible. Speaking about energy, I have Teammates in my hand, which means that after I suffer that knockout, I'm going to be able to use my Teammates, search my deck for any 2 cards. With any 2 cards, I can just easily grab whatever I need. I can grab, for example, there's another Professor Sycamore. I can grab, for example, Garchomp and the Sycamore, so I can have 7 new cards. And Garchomp in play. So there's a Float Stone on his Zoroark, and that's pretty good because he can stand in double course energy hit for the knockout. But since the Mind Jack can only hit for 10 plus 30 more, I only have 2 Pokemon on my bench. This is gonna be just a 70 damage on my Carbink Break, which means that he will survive somehow. And that's good to know. And also good to know is that he actually have weakness, so in case I actually draw another Strong Energy, for example, I can just use my Power Gem and knock him out. So he didn't decide to do that. As you can see, there is a Strong Energy right now sitting in my hand, which means that I'm going to play that Strong Energy on my Carbink. Let's take a risk right there. Let's go with the Power Gem for a 60 damage. So he's still looking for that Hex Maniac. Without Hex Maniac, he's not going to be able to shut down my Carbink ability and basically knock me out. So there's another Ultra Ball. I can definitely see another Shaymin sitting on his bench. And this is like a jackpot when we speak about Garchomp, but I'm still having hard time top decking supporter cards. So he even played that Karen, even if it's not allowed, but okay. And there is a Stardust Jirachi, which means that he can actually buy a turn right here with the Stardust Jirachi, which is not bad because I can at least use my... Oh, there's a N. I can at least use my Diamond Gift and basically attach 1 of my energies to my Garchomp. But who knows what else I can get. So this is definitely going to be Ultra Ball next turn, so I really want to preserve my Super Roads. And it's going to be N after that. More than that, with the Ultra Ball, I might just search my deck for my Jirachi. Or I might just search my deck. I just first... Yeah, he played 2 Mega Turbos, so I don't really need... I really don't know why I shouldn't grab my Jirachi right here and put it onto my bench. Because next turn I cannot attack Jirachi, and I really need to have that Jirachi in play. So let's go with the N. Because I can even win against my opponent right here simply just by discarding his resources from play. So this is going to be a Diamond Gift. Unfortunately, 0 damage, but I can add 1 of my energies to my Gible on the bench. More than that, for the next turn I can use my V-Seeker for Wally, or I can V-Seeker for Sycamore, but probably I will just V-Seeker for Professor Sycamore, but maybe I even go with even N. So he is down to like 9 cards at this moment, and he still cannot do anything because Carbink actually do the job. So there's a Lysandre on my Jirachi instead of my Gible with 2 energies, and he's definitely looking forward to retreat and to hit with his Emerald Break right here, but maybe even with his Zoroark, because right now he can hit for like a 130, and that's definitely gonna happen. Very nice play, very clever play. No, ooh, he just decided to promote Rayquaza, which means that I can hit for 200. A top deck Garchomp actually wouldn't be that bad at all. So it's my turn, which means that I will top deck just the energy card, which is pretty much useless, but it can be attached on another Gible. And this is definitely going to be a V-Seeker for a Sycamore. It's going to be a painful Sycamore if I don't get Rare Candy and my Garchomp. I can definitely tell you that. But there's a Rare Candy, there's a Garchomp. And the most important thing, there is even Faded Town sitting in my hand, which means that I can go for 180. So bite of 160, 180, 200. And that Faded Town actually is going to knock out my opponent, Rayquaza. So if he does not have Stadium card in play, he's definitely not going to be able to knock me out. But more than that, I can even hit. Yeah, definitely I'm going to hit with my Garchomp right here. Really no need to think too much about it. So I can definitely see him discarding 2 Shaymins and maybe that Hoopa with a Float Stone, because he actually have that Zoroark. So 2 Shaymins and Hoopa discarded. And right now I can use my Bite Off, which means that I can hit for like a 180, and the 20 damage from that Faded Town will do a good job right there. So right now I have Rare Candy sitting in my hand, but unfortunately I don't have another piece of puzzle, which is actually a Garchomp. And there's another Skyfield, so a 1-0 is in play. He can go straight away with a Emerald Break for 200 for like a 180, which is going to be enough for the knockout, which means that I can respond with my Carbink and with my Power Gem for 20, and that's going to be enough for knockout on his Mega Rayquaza. And definitely I'm going to do that, and I will also use my N. So there is Carbink and Gabite. So I really don't want to put another Carbink down to my bench, because in that case he can knock me out with his Zoroark, so I don't want to take too much risk right here. It is just gonna be... I mean, I can even use... Why not? Why not? No, no, I'm forced to use my Power Gem actually right here. I cannot use my Diamond Gift. But if I use my Diamond Gift, he's going to stand in and knock me out. So I will just for now use my Power Gem, knock out his Mega Rayquaza, drop 2 prize cards right here, remove one of his attacker from play, try to find another, basically another Jirachi, so I can disrupt his special energy cards, so he's not going to be able to attack right here. So he have like 3 double course energies, more, actually 2 of them, because one is in the discard pile and one is on his Zoroark in the active. What should I do next turn? I can pick between even playing Teammates in case I suffer the knockout. There's another Shaymin, but probably I will just... I don't know. I can even... I don't know. I can even Delinquent and disrupt 3 cards from his hand. I can even... There's a lot of options. So he just decided to use V-Seeker for N. And this is going to be N. And I will draw 4 new cards. So there's a Super Rod, a Lysandre, and a V-Seeker. That's pretty much a game right here. It is. Really, it is a game right here, because I can Lysandre his Hoopa for 2 prizes, and then I can Lysandre his Shaymin for 2 prizes. Pretty easily. But of course, before I do that, I will first use Super Rod and basically put those Garchomps, Gible, and Gabite from my disc file back into my deck. But he actually decided to use that Dream Dance right here, and we are both gonna be asleep, so I really need to wake up. Oh, I didn't wake up. Oh, that's a cheeky play. I didn't count on something like this, so I'll just use my Super Rod and we'll recycle that Garchomp line and one of my Jirachis. And more than that, right now he can stand in and hit for 70, and he is still gonna be short for like a 10. I guess at least I can use my Wally right here, and I can Wally in my Garchomp. So at least I can have that very important attacker for the next turn. Not looking forward to attempt playing my Strong Energies because he can just easily Lysandre me and discard that Strong Energy, so I'm not going to be able maybe to knock up his, for example, Hoopa on the bench. So I will just wait a turn with attaching that energy because two of my Strong Energies are actually prized. Are actually in discard pile, not prized. So I still don't see a sign of the Hex Maniac in my opponent deck. That means only one thing, that he might not even run a Hex Maniac in his deck. So this is going to be a 70 damage from that Mind Jack for now. And basically, if I don't... Oh, there's a Mega Rayquaza in the active. Will there be maybe a Lysandre? Oh, this is going to be a big blow right here. I'm going to lose my Garchomp because of that Lysandre right there. Okay. I really think I'm missing a lot right here, those trainers mails, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe not, who knows. I know the one thing that I can do right here, and this is pretty much Lysandre and knock out my opponent, Zoroark. This is definitely going to be the only thing that I can do. Use my Power Gem for like 120, and right now he cannot stand in. He really needs to find a way to use that Hex Maniac or another Lysandre so he can knock out my Gible on the bench. But even that is not going to be a big problem. But I'm seeing 3 V-Seekers in his discard pile. I already seen that Super Rod that he played. And even Karen. So he can maybe just grab Karen. Of course, Oh, so he decided to go with the Dream Dance. And I wake up. Oh, he should just go with the Stardust right here. I think that was actually a big mistake, but who knows. And right now I can use my Power Gem easily and knock him out. But more than that, I can even use my Diamond Gift, but I will just go with my Power Gem for like a 60. It's enough for the knockup, so that means only one thing, that I just need to pull 2 more prize cards right here. And I have that Teammate sitting in my hand, so I think I can easily... if I suffer knockout, search my deck for Rare Candy Garchomp with that Teammates, and there's a Hex Maniac. So he finally managed to find that Hex Maniac, which is going to be very important right here, because right now he just knocked out my Carbink, and he's down to 2 prize cards. And that means only one thing, that he still have 1 V-Secret to play. And I will put my Gible in the active position. I can always retreat it. And right now I can use my Teammates right here. I can even try to deck him out if I really want to do that. Let me see. Let me see. How many double Colress energies? He have played 2 of them. Well, he can probably find 1 more double Colress energy. I can use Delinquent for sure. Oh no, I cannot play Delinquent. I cannot play Delinquent. I need to use my Garchomp. But he can hit me for like 120. Still, he's not going to be able to knock me out. So, I will grab Garchomp right here actually. Oh! Oh, what a misplay. I didn't grab Garchomp, I grabbed energy card right here. Oh, this will change things a little bit. You gotta be kidding me that I did that. Okay, that was the biggest misclick I ever did. I mean, I grabbed Rare Candy and Strong Energy. I mean, even that is not a big deal. If he can knock me out right now, I can then use my, again, V-Seeker for teammates. Which actually mine ends up much better right here. So there's a double Course Energy on his Zoroark, and he will definitely stand in and hit for 70. And he's down to two prize cards, and I think I can just run him a circle right here, I mean, basically. But more than that, there is a Garchomp. And what do I have in my discard pile? I have a Wally, so I don't have another. I think that the best option actually is to I don't know if I want to retreat. I can V-Seeker for whatever I want. How many Float Stones? I play 2 of them, so that means that I don't have another Float Stone. Where is the last V-Seeker? Who knows? That is the question that actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pokemons in his discard pile. 7 basic Pokemons. He still have like a Shaman at least for that knockout, but he still need to drop 2 prize cards, so I'm kind of confused what to do next. I mean, I guess I can Sycamore for 7. And basically I'm going to attach my energy onto my Garchomp. So Sycamore for 7. So I can find that Jirachi, and I can Super Rod a little bit more cards back to my deck. Like a Carbink break, like a Carbink, like an energy. Actually, like I don't need Carbink break. I just need 1 Carbink and energy cards. Just 1 Carbink, not a Carbink break. Oh my gosh. Okay. More than that, I guess Ultra Ball for that Gabite, so I can have even second Garchomp. Oh no, I just have Garchomp. Okay, I can grab 1 more Carbink with the safeguard, but I'm not looking forward to play it now. So for next turn, I guess I just need to knock out somehow his Zoroark if he had that end sitting in his hand. But if he does not have end, it's game over, because he's not going to have enough cards sitting in his hand. It will definitely be over. So let's see if he can find. Oh, no end. So it looks like that the V-Seeker were actually the last V-Seeker and N were priced for him, so he will just lose the battle by decking out. And that's actually my luck right here at the end. Okay, let's just pass the turn, and that's pretty much it. So we are moving to the game number 3. Alright guys, let's do this. So I'm going to call heads as usual, and we are ready to go. So I think I play against Greninja break, and this is definitely very, very good, just to show you how good or how bad you can actually be with Garchomp. So let's do this, guys. My turn 1 is actually pretty decent. I have Ultra Ball for N and Hex Maniac for another Gible, and I have actually Garchomp sitting in my hand, which means that I can sit and wait, and basically I can just power up my Garchomp for the next turn, and in that case I will need something like a Strong Energy to one-hit knock out my opponent Froakie. But I'm thinking about using my V-Seeker for that end, so I can get 6 new cards right here and basically find that energy very important, so I can even hit for more than like 60. And there we go with another level ball. It's going to be for 1 Carbink. And right now I'm going to pass my turn because that's pretty much all that I can do. Let's see what he can do on the other side. I also have N, which means that I can N again and drop 6 new cards. But pretty much I really want to hit that Garchomp as soon as possible in play, so I can basically start to knock out his Froggies, Frogadiers, whatever from play. That's very, very important. And there is also Mr. Determination, which means that there is not gonna be a Frogadier on a turn 1 with the Wally. And I really like to see that. So, Mr. Determination, in case you're not familiar with the card, discard any card from your hand, look at the top cards, the top 8 cards of your deck. Oh my gosh, I'm paralyzed. And pick any of them. So there's just another Carbink. This is going to be another N for 6. And I really hope about... Oh, luckily there's an Ultra Ball. And there's going to be a big play right here. So I'm going to Ultra Ball for Sycamore. And unfortunately... oh, I don't need to discard my Float Stone actually. For the Garchomp. So I can Rare Candy into my Garchomp, and more than that, I can hit for like a 60. It's gonna be enough to knock out his Froakie with my Turbo Assault. But the most important thing right here is that I can attach one of my energies from my discard pile to one of my Pokemon in play, and it's gonna be on my Garchomp in the active position because I can bite off next turn for like 100. And if I can hit for the 100, I can easily one-hit knock out his Frogadier, because Frogadier actually has 70 HP. So far so good, no sign of the Greninja break in play. Let's see if he can find Dive Ball energy. So there's a Dive Ball for the Frogadier. Will there be a energy card in his hand so he can just use those water duplicates? I don't know, but I can expect to see something like that. And I hope that this is going to happen, just to see how good Garchomp can actually be against Greninja break. On the other side, there's just another Froakie, so he decided to roll with the Froakie. Why in the world would you use Bubble? I don't know about this, guys. I'm kind of confused right here. I really want to know what is going on. Why he didn't use a Dive Ball and just go into Frogadier and water duplicate? Probably I'm going to find that out, but I'm going to pass my turn right here because I really want to keep that V-Seeker in my hand to use that Hex Maniac. And right now he's using just the Skyla. For what? For the Rare Candy, so he can go into Garchomp. Into Greninja, but that just does not make any sense right here. It really does not make any sense. But really, it does not make any sense. I mean... he can hit for like 80. Okay, I can bite off for like 100. Maybe I should even go with... maybe I should even go turn before with my Sycamore for 7. Okay, so there's 80 damage. There's a Lysandre in my hand, which means that I can knock out his Froakie on the bench if I really want to do that. I don't see why I wouldn't do that. But then next turn he's gonna knock out my Garchomp. I think it was a miscall that I didn't play that Sycamore. Oh no, I clicked on the Sycamore and didn't Float Stone. Okay, never mind. Still, there is a Rare Candy sitting in my hand, which means that this is going to be a Rare Candy in another Garchomp. I will definitely retreat right here and just go with the 60. I mean, I don't have nothing to lose. If he does not have Greninja break in his hand, he's not going to be capable to knock out my Garchomp with that John Water Shuriken on the bench. But damn, that Float Stone miss discarding was bad. And of course there's a Wally, so Greninja break is gonna happen. It's gonna hit me hard, and that John Water Shuriken will just hit for like 60, it's enough for the knockout. But at least with the teammates, I can grab any 2 cards that I really want. And of course, the first card that I will grab is going to be a Strong Energy, and the second card that I'm going to grab is going to be, oh, there's another Moonlight Slash for 80. It's going to be, of course, Sycamore for 7, so I can Sycamore for 7. But there's even V-Seeker sitting in my hand. Not bad. Okay, right now I can actually use a Rare Candy and another Garchomp. Where is my Garchomp? It's right here. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the only way to survive this battle right here. So Turbo Assault for like a 60, and I'm gonna be able to attach one of my Strong Energies onto my Garchomp on the bench. And even if you can find Rough Seas with the Sycamore for 7, probably I'm gonna be able, but even with the teammates, I'm gonna be definitely able to find the card that I'm looking for. Carbink is a 90 HP, but more than that, I will need energy. In this case, I can hit for like 190. If I don't find energy, I'm not going to be able to retreat. So I guess I should put my Carbink in the active position to absorb some damage from that Moonlight Slash. We'll take the risk, but really doesn't matter. Still, I don't know why he didn't just simply go for that Frogadier and for the water duplicates. I think it might be much better for him. But right now, after I knock out his Greninja, still is not going to be over because I will have 4 prizes to take, and this is very, very long game right here. So he managed to find Pearl. You gotta be kidding me, dude. There's a Delinquent sitting in his hand, so he can just Delinquent V-Seeker and Silent Lab from my hand, and I didn't expect to see something like that. And he even retreated on his bench. That's the most dope play I have ever seen right here. So I cannot believe that this just happened. I don't expect to see Delinquent from Greninja players, to be honest. I really don't expect to see something like that. I played a lot Greninja, and I didn't see many players actually have Delinquent in their hand. But Delinquent is a pretty good card, especially for this kind of situations. So I just lost my V-Seeker, which means that I'm in a bad position. At least if I had that Garchomp in the active position, it would be much, much better. And right now he actually decided to Lysandre my Garchomp right here. If he misses a bubble, this is going to be a big deal right here. A Float Stone, okay. But more than that, this is going to be a Turbo Assault, and this is going to be for the 80. And definitely I'm going to put one of my energies on my Carbink Break, since I had that Float Stone sitting in my hand for the free retreat on my another Carbink. And there's an Ultra Ball sitting in my hand, and he just promoted his Greninja Break right here. I should definitely call a few bad plays or decisions from my opponent, but there we go with Professor Sycamore for 7. And he even have 2 copies of Delinquent in his deck. Okay, that's very interesting. I mean, Delinquent is a pretty good card if you can hit turn 1, especially against your opponent if he go first and set up 2 Pokemons, 1 Pokemon, 2 Pokemons in play, 1 energy tool, and he just decide to pass the turn because he does not have anything, and hitting with a Delinquent can definitely be very painful. So there's a John Water Shuriken, which means that he can John Water Shuriken for 60 and use his Moonlight Slash for the 80. And it's going to be enough for the knockout, so my Garchomp is going to be knocked out. Still, I need to find just a Strong Energy to one-hit knockout with my Power Gem for like a 60 his Greninja Break. So will I be able to find it? We shall see. So I'm going to use my Carbink in the active and look at the top deck. So this was a top deck from a Dreams. So I'm going to use my Power Gem. It's going to be enough for the knockout. So hitting for the 60 right here and basically knocking out his Greninja will give me 1 more prize, which is another Carbink Break. But more than that, he just have a single Octillery sitting in play, and there's a Trainer's Mail. It's still not over. It's still far from the over, but I'm definitely in a better position. I can definitely tell that. So I see 3 Froakies in his discard pile, which means that he might have 0 Froakies left because of the Talonflame play. So he definitely needs to find a way out to get those Super Roads. Good thing is on the other side that he had an utility for Abyssal Hand. So there's a die ball. I might just see more, one more a Froakie or just a Remoraid. I mean, you can even play. Oh, there's even Manaphy EX. Okay. Okay, first time that I actually see someone play a Greninja break with the Manaphy. But one more Skyla. Okay, this is definitely the weirdest Greninja break deck I have ever seen. I mean, I've seen a lot Greninja break decks. I also seen a lot national championship winning Greninja break decks from different countries all around the world. There's even a Southwest. Okay, pretty interesting. But this is the most incredible Greninja build I ever seen. I mean, I just can't believe in some cards. There's a Misdetermination, there are some Delinquents and stuff like that. A lot of different cards. But more than that, I'm going to pull one Garchomp line back. Another Carbink break. If I hit for the 60, or if I hit with the Power Gem for like a 40, I can even go for like a 40 with the Power Gem. Oh, I clicked the Power Gem for the 60. Okay, never mind. So there's one energy on his Manaphy and Articuno. So there's even Articuno sitting in his hand, and the VS Seeker for the Misdetermination. So I should definitely go just with my Diamond Gift, but I misclicked. Really doesn't matter yet. So let's see what he can grab with that Misdetermination. Abyssal Hand for 2. He have opportunity to retreat his Octillery from the active, that's for sure, but he actually decided to promote his Manaphy in the active. Okay, and Rough Seas. Pretty good because with the Mineral Pump he can go for like a 60, but it's not going to happen because of my Carbink, and I really need to find a way to get my Gible in play. So I will just go with my Power Gem for one more turn, just for the 20, because he cannot knock out my Carbink right here, and I really want to get that Gible so I can put it down to my bench. And of course he can just use that Rough Seas, but he cannot attack without a Hex Maniac. And there's another Skyla. I mean, this is like a Skyla number 3. Kinda impressed right here. So many supporter cards and stuff like that. So there's a Max Potion. Okay, not bad. Abyssal Hand just for the single card. And I'm looking for that Ultra Ball. There's a Mineral Pump for 0, of course. I'm looking for that Ultra Ball for the Gible. I top deck Jirachi, but I really want to use that Gible. And of course, put it down to my bench. So I'm really looking forward to that Rare Candy. And right now I can even use my Diamond Gift if I want. And of course I want to attach 2 of my energies on my Gible on the bench. There we go. So right now I'm just looking for the top deck, a Rare Candy. So Rare Candy as the top deck, it's gonna give me pretty much a Garchomp. And I can retreat for paying 1 energy cost. Hitting for like 180, his Manaphy minus 40 for that Assault West is going to be 140. On the other side, he can free retreat, try to use that Shielding Sight, try to asleep me, or maybe even power up his Articuno, so he can maybe grab 2 prizes right here, who knows. I guess I can just use my Power Gem, but it's not effective because of the Rough Seas in play. And he's down to 8 cards, so I wouldn't be surprised even to see my opponent right here decking himself out. Another Strong Energy. Let's just go with the Power Gem. 20 more damage, but it's gonna be healed, so it really doesn't matter too much. There we go. And there's a big fisherman, so with that fisherman he can recycle like 4 more energies from his discard pile, attach on that Articuno, and right now he can just go with the 3 edge. And that's very important. So how many heads he can flip right here? 1 heads, which is a 60 damage. Almost a knockout. A top deck N means only one thing. I'm going to end myself and my opponent down to 3 cards. There's just a Garchomp. But okay, I mean, I can retreat. And discard one of my energies. Of course, go with my Diamond Gift. Hit for like a resistance at 20. Attach one of my energies onto my Gible. So right now, Gible actually have 3 energies. 2 of them are Strongs. So I can hit for like 120 minus 20 because of that. Resistance is going to be 100. So still, I'm going to be short for like 1 strong energy. And of course, first I need to find a Garchomp if I really want to knock out his Articuno with a single shot. And there's a 3 edge. And 3 edge just for like a 60 damage. So, not bad at all. It's going to be Sycamore for 7. Will there be a Rare Candy? No sign of the Rare Candy, but that Faded Town will do the great job. And there is a Super Rod number 2. So I'm going to recycle 2 more Garchomps and 1 more Gible. So I can use my Level Ball and search my deck for that Gabite, put it onto my Gible. One energy, I guess, on Jirachi. Diamond Gift for like a 20. And 2 more energies on my Gible on the bench. And I think right now, actually, that was definitely the weirdest Greninja break build I ever seen. With some of Articunos and Manaphy's. A pretty much very original idea. I cannot say anything about idea. So he's down to 1 prize thanks to that Articuno. So next turn, maybe with the Lysandre, he even have a chance to win a game right here, and that's just amazing. So there's a Wally and a Sycamore sitting in my hand, but that means that I will go with my Sycamore for 7. I mean, he can just hit for like a 60 with his Manaphy, which is going to be enough for the knockout. I'm going to Rare Candy in my Garchomp. I'm going to put another Garchomp in play, and more than that, I will retreat, and of course do my best. Hit with my Bite Off, which is going to be enough for the knockout right here. So it's all to my opponent. If he have VA Seeker, he can knock me out with his Manaphy and pretty much end the game right here. And he promoted his artillery in the active position. That means that he does not have a VA Seeker in his hand. And I'm down to like 1 card, and there's a Teammates. Luckily, I have N sitting in my hand, so I can end both me and my opponent down to like 1 and 2 cards. And definitely, once he used that Teammates, I guess I can just go straight away with my N. And there's Max Elixir. Will there be 1 more energy on his Suicune? Yes, it would be. It can hit for like 110. So, but the most important thing is that a VA Seeker for the Lysandre, and of course for the Manaphy for the last 2 prize cards. So it's pretty much a GG with my Bite Off, because I can hit for like a 200 and minus 40 because of that Assault Vest. It's actually 160. So guys, 3 games played, 3 victories. I hope you enjoy watching this video. So once again, there is a full Garchomp list with the Carbink, a pure fighting deck that I call it. If you're looking to build something like that, you should definitely try it. yeah, don't forget to hit the like button for the video if you like it and enjoy watching it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more future videos. If you have any questions, just don't forget to leave comments below. Till the next time, stay tuned for more videos. Have a nice day, whatever you are, or nice night, and goodbye.